Synthetic biology represents an exciting frontier where biological science meets engineering principles, allowing scientists to design and build biological systems not found in nature. This script offers a comprehensive yet accessible overview of this revolutionary field, explaining how organisms can be programmed to perform novel functions. Hello everyone, and welcome to our Exploring Science and Technology series. Today we're diving into the fascinating world of synthetic biology, where science meets engineering to create biological systems that nature never dreamed of. Imagine if we could program living cells the same way we program computers. What if we could design bacteria that clean up oil spills, create plants that glow in the dark, or engineer microbes that produce life-saving medicines? Well, this isn't science fiction. It's happening right now in labs across the world, and it's called synthetic biology. In this video, we'll explore what synthetic biology is, how scientists are programming living organisms, some amazing applications of this technology, and where this field might take us in the future. So let's get started. At its core, synthetic biology is about redesigning organisms to give them new abilities. It's like being able to write new instructions for living things. Think about it this way. All living organisms contain DNA, which is like a set of instructions that tells the organism how to grow, function, and reproduce. DNA is made up of 4 chemical building blocks, often represented by the letters A, C, G, and T. The specific sequence of these letters forms a code that determines everything about the organism, from what it looks like to how it behaves. Synthetic biology takes this natural code and modifies it, or even writes entirely new sequences to create biological systems with new functions that don't exist in nature. This field combines knowledge from many different areas. Biologists understand how living systems work, engineers bring design principles, computer scientists help with modeling, and chemists work with the molecular building blocks. It's truly a team effort that brings together diverse expertise. The concept isn't entirely new. Humans have been selectively breeding plants and animals for thousands of years to enhance certain traits. But what makes synthetic biology different is the precision and intentionality. Instead of waiting generations for selective breeding to work, scientists can now directly edit the genetic code to make specific changes. Think of DNA as the programming language of life. Just like computer programmers use languages like Python or Java to create software, synthetic biologists use DNA sequences to create new biological functions. There are 2 main approaches to synthetic biology: top-down and bottom-up. The top-down approach starts with existing organisms and modifies them. Scientists often work with simple organisms like bacteria, particularly E. coli, which has been extensively studied. These organisms serve as a chassis, a biological framework that can be modified. When scientists modify these organisms, they add what are called bioparts, specific sections of DNA that perform particular functions. These bioparts are like biological Lego blocks that can be assembled in different ways to create new functions. For example, scientists might take a gene that allows jellyfish to glow and insert it into bacteria, creating bacteria that emit light when exposed to certain chemicals. This could be used to detect environmental toxins or disease markers. The bottom-up approach is even more ambitious. Instead of modifying existing organisms, scientists try to build biological systems from scratch using non-living components. This is much more challenging but could eventually lead to entirely synthetic life forms designed for specific purposes. To make these modifications, scientists use various techniques. They might use special enzymes to cut DNA at specific locations, insert new genetic material, and then stitch everything back together. They can also chemically synthesize DNA from scratch, writing out the exact sequence they want. As technology advances, this process is becoming more like computer programming. Scientists can design genetic circuits, sets of genes that work together to perform a specific function, also create biological switches that turn genes on or off in response to specific signals. Peter Weigel, a scientist at New England Biolabs, describes synthetic biology as programming with DNA and explains that it involves using recombinant nucleic acids to direct biological systems to execute a subset of predetermined outputs based on the computation of multiple inputs. The material foundation that makes synthetic biology possible is the availability of inexpensive, custom chemically synthesized DNA pieces and the enzymatic methods for putting those DNA pieces together. The applications of synthetic biology are incredibly diverse and touch nearly every aspect of our lives. Let's look at some examples. In healthcare, synthetic biology is revolutionizing how we produce medicines. Instead of complex chemical processes, we can now program bacteria or yeast to produce medications like insulin or antibiotics. This can make production faster, cheaper, and more environmentally friendly. Scientists are also creating biosensors, organisms engineered to detect specific molecules. Imagine a simple test that changes color when it detects a disease marker in a blood sample, or bacteria that can sense environmental toxins. In agriculture, synthetic biology is helping create crops that resist pests, require less water, or provide enhanced nutrition. This could help feed our growing global population while reducing the environmental impact of farming. For environmental applications, researchers are designing microorganisms that can break down pollutants like plastic or clean up oil spills. Some can even capture carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, potentially helping to address climate change. Future directions and democratization. The field of synthetic biology is advancing rapidly, and the future holds incredible possibilities. One exciting direction is the democratization of this technology. Just as personal computers brought computing to the masses, we're seeing the emergence of DIY biology and community labs where people can learn and experiment with genetic engineering techniques. Educational programs are bringing synthetic biology into high schools and colleges, inspiring the next generation of scientists and engineers. Competitions like IGM, the International Genetically Engineered Machine Competition, challenge students to solve real-world problems using synthetic biology. Andrew Hessel, a genetic engineering expert, suggests that biology is becoming the next information technology. He predicts that when DNA sequencing becomes cheap enough, around 10 million base pairs for $100 an hour, we'll see a genetic revolution where almost anyone can start programming with DNA. Some researchers are working on creating minimal cells, stripped-down versions with only the genes absolutely necessary for life. These could serve as simplified platforms for adding new functions. As with any powerful technology, synthetic biology raises important ethical questions that we need to consider. There are concerns about biosafety, ensuring engineered organisms don't escape into the environment or have unintended consequences. There are also questions about who controls this technology, who benefits from it, and how we ensure it's used responsibly. While these concerns are real, it's worth remembering that any technology can be used for both beneficial and harmful purposes. Synthetic biology represents an exciting frontier where biology meets engineering. By learning to program living organisms, scientists are creating solutions to some of our biggest challenges in health, agriculture, the environment, and industry. We're just beginning to explore the possibilities of this field. As our understanding grows and technology improves, we'll likely see applications that we can't even imagine today. The ability to design and build biological systems is giving us unprecedented capabilities to shape the living world. And as this technology becomes more accessible, more people will be able to contribute their creativity and ideas. So whether you're fascinated by the science, excited about the applications, or curious about the ethical implications, synthetic biology is definitely a field worth watching. Thank you for joining us for this exploration of synthetic biology. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and share with others who might find it interesting. And let us know in the comments what other science and technology topics you'd like us to cover in future videos. Until next time, keep exploring the amazing world of science and technology.